I'm hunting Mirages, and this is another video blog. And this one's going to be a little bit subdued, a little bit rambling, because, you know, I don't really feel like making a video. But one of the goals of this video series was to show that it's not always easy. You know, and you know, I haven't made a video for a couple of weeks, and you know, one of the reasons for that is because, you know, my songwriting's not going very well, as I've been already mentioning in previous episodes. And you know, I'm still struggling to try to finish something, and it doesn't make me feel very good, and it just makes me want to sort of hide. But in doing that, then, you know, I'm not making videos and I'm not showing what it's like, and this is what it's like. So, you know, what I've been doing to try not to get too discouraged is I've been going back through my backlog, like all of my old tracks, which is something I've talked about before, and, you know, I'm still doing it. You know, the original project was to try to get all of my backlog and sort it into categories of, you know, stuff that's not worth, you know, like sort of A, B, and C category songs, where C is just like, you know, there's one or two ideas in it. You know, a B grade is like, that's got some great ideas that, you know, it's a, you know, there's a couple of riffs, and, you know, maybe there's, you know, like definitely a good start to a song in there. And the A grade is like songs that are mostly finished, or that I have finished in the past. And so as I've been doing that, you know, I've come across a few tracks that I look at and I think, you know, why did I ever stop working on this? You know, which is, you know, very, you know, it says a lot about, you know, it goes directly to the exact problem I'm having now, which is, you know, when I'm trying to work on tracks, I'm just getting, you know, so stuck, especially with lyric writing, trying to, you know, write something. And I know that, you know, my problem with this stuff is that, you know, I'm too hard on myself. I'm too judgmental, and I write, you know, I try to write things, and I think, well, you know, I've got to relax. I've got to let it flow, and, you know, and I'll write, do free writing and just write anything, and just, you know, sometimes if I write a whole bunch of stuff, then I can pull things out of it and edit something together. But, you know, you write something, and then, you know, you try to let it be, it's okay if it's not great, and, you know, and then you write something and it's terrible, and it doesn't inspire me to keep writing. You know, it's really difficult. I don't know how. I'm not very good at doing this thing where I allow myself to write mediocre material, because I understand, you know, I fully understand and believe the principle that I've heard from many other creatives, that the only way to get good at any creative work is to do a lot of crappy work. You know, everyone you know who is awesome at something went through a period of doing it really badly for quite a while, and they were able to push through that and get to the point where they got really good at it. And I understand that principle, and I want to do it. And then, you know, when I sit down to write, it's, you know, the stuff that I'm writing, you know, I don't, like, it just, I really struggle to keep the motivation to keep going when what I'm doing is just so crappy. And, you know, because I don't have a passion for crap music. I just don't. You know, I got into this because, you know, I love great music and I want to be someone who makes great music. And you know, when I try to write music and it's just not going well, it's just really difficult to push through. And you know, and I know that the problem is that it's all internal self-judgment. You know, it's all about the way that I think about it while I'm doing it. It's not about skill necessarily. Like, that's not even the problem. The problem is that, you know, I won't let myself be, you know, only as good as I am. And even though I'm like fully self-aware in the moment, it doesn't make it any easier. You know, like, old habits die very hard. So, you know, and while I'm going through old tracks that I've worked on, and I'll pull up tracks from like 2 or 3 years ago and look at them, and I'm like, this is amazing. You know, this is like a half-finished track and it's awesome. Why did I ever stop? You know, what didn't I like about this? And then, you know, I try to look at stuff that I've just put aside with the same mindset, and I can't. Like, it's like I need like distance from it. I almost need to open something and not be able to remember when I worked on it. I mean, this has happened to me. I open projects and I listen to something and I'm like, I don't remember having ever written this. You know, this just feels like I'm listening to this for the first time ever. And, you know, some of those tracks I can listen to them like that and I have no idea what's coming up. And it's like when I'm in that mindset, I can listen to some of these tracks and go, wow, that is awesome. You know, it's like coming out from nowhere. It's not something that I wrote. And it's like when I completely divorce my own identity from it, I can just listen to it objectively and go, wow, that's really cool. You know, like, I wish that guy would finish that track. And then when I think that it's me and I'm the one who has to finish it, it's like all the judgment just comes crashing back down on me when I try to put the next thing in it. And, you know, and so that's what I'm trying to do at the moment. I've found a bunch of these old tracks that are really great, but only half finished. And I'm trying to, you know, add to them. And I've got one that I'm working on that's got some good bits in it, and I've added a few more good bits in it, but it's still very slow going. And it's hard, and, you know, makes me not want to make videos. You know, I haven't made a video for a couple of weeks, and, you know, I could probably give you all sorts of really good excuses about how busy I was on those Thursday nights and why I couldn't put up a video. But the truth is, if I had something exciting to talk about, I probably would have found the time for it. And so, you know, I'm making this video because, you know, I want to show that it's not, you know, that sometimes it's really hard. It's not always fun. And so that's where I'm at the moment. And sorry about this little edit, but tonight I've learned that a Samsung Galaxy S6 phone doesn't like being fast charged and recording long video at the same time, because it gets too hot. And then the phone just says, sorry, I'm too hot to record video, and stops. So anyway, taking up where I left off, I'm not going to be doing a video for the next couple of weeks because from next Wednesday and doing the 2 weekends following that, I'm going to be doing a 10-day Vipassana Buddhist meditation course at Blackheath up in the Blue Mountains west of Sydney. I'm doing that to try to get a bit of sort of mental clarity and improved focus. Those of you who know me will know that I'm not a terribly spiritual guy, but as I've mentioned previously, I have a more nuanced view of these things these days, and I'm going there just to find out if the techniques can be useful in helping me to get better control of my mind. I'm trying not to have too many expectations, because that's probably the best way to approach it. But yeah, I'll be completely off grid while I'm up there. I'm sort of both looking forward to it and really quite not scared. What's the word I'm looking for? Just great trepidation for what that's going to be like. But I'll let you know in the next video. I'll end on a positive note though, which is that from the last video, you may remember I was taking on a vocal student, and the good news is that he decided to take me up on the full term of lessons, and we've had 3 lessons now, and they're going really well. And the half an hour vanishes very quickly, so it's been a really good challenge for me to deliver the lesson efficiently and to not waffle on. And because by the time I've done a warm up, reviewed what we've done so far, check his progress for how he's doing with the things that I've set him, and then teach something new, and then cover the homework I'm setting him for the next week. You've got to get all that done pretty quickly and efficiently to fit it into the half hour. And he seems to be really enjoying it, and he has no problem doing his practice at home, which is amazing. I'll probably project my own my own experience onto what I expect from others there, because I'm terrible at being consistent at anything. I'm always so sporadic and struggle with motivation, and so I just assume that everybody else has the same problem, but he doesn't. He's quite good at finding the time and the space to do his vocal practice, which is great. So that's going really well, which is good. So anyway, I'm going to keep working on that song. I'll hopefully be putting that out sometime in March, along with my next video, or after my next video. And so yeah, it's not always sunshine and rainbows, and that's just how it goes. And I'll see you in a few weeks. Thanks for watching.